Yo,
Oh,
hey, my bad. I just spilled my whole ashtray, nigga. I'm trying to fucking pick up the pieces, man. Give me a second. Can you hear me?
mm-hmm.
Yo.
What
Yo,
up?
still,
What's up, Fizz?
still got London Bridge behind you.
Hold on, I got a better one coming up now. Hold
The background.
Turn your shit sideways.
on. Okay, don't tell me what to do.
Ever, right? Like, tell them.
Turn your shit sideways too, Chris.
Hey, hold up, man.
What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? A Keebler house or some shit?
Yeah, it's the Shire. I just got finished watching Lord of the Rings. That's where I live now.
I've never seen Lord of the Rings. I thought that was the Keebler elf scene.
But it's close. It's not far. Like, it's not far.
That look like Shrek got some money and upgraded his swamp.
That's right. That's like the coziest place in the world to smoke weed.
Like Donkey has his own quarters.
Rudy, you really got to check out Lord of the Rings, bro, just from like a movie buff standpoint.
You should suggest it on the podcast.
I will, man. It's a commitment, bro, you know?
Isn't it like it's a couple of them though, right?
There's 3 movies and each one is like 3.5 hours long.
See, you shouldn't have said nothing. You should have just let me watch it.
But they're dope, bro. They're not
that's
movies where you're like, fuck, this is taking forever. It's dope if you get into the story.
It's only one movie I've watched so far, believe it or not, that is long. That's known to be long. Like it's not like long like an hour 45 minutes. Like it's a long ass movie. But I can not only watch it from start to finish, but I've watched it several times from start to finish because it's one of my favorite movies, and that's Titanic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
really.
Titanic to me is such. Cause see, for one, I'm very fascinated with even though that story, even though like the love story was made up, I'm very fascinated with I'm fascinated with biopics. And so the fact that they used the real story and they didn't necessarily make it like a period piece, they almost made it like, you know, this is the lady now and this was their story. So I love seeing back in the day, you know, that's why even like The Wood is one of my favorite movies because it kept showing from, you know, them pursuing did you ever see The Wood?
Yeah, that's the one about Englewood. It's with like Omar Epps. Right.
And so, yeah, so the current them is pursuing the wedding that's happening that day. But they keep flashing back to when they was in high school and stuff like that. So that element of it, I loved about Titanic. And then on top of that, the whole however long the boat sinking iceberg from the time it hit the iceberg to the end, however long that lasted. It just always, you know, pretty.
Do you know the story of like how that movie got made? Like James Cameron, do you know about that?
I don't think so, no.
Like, you know, he's like really big into deep sea diving and like deep sea exploring. And he made that movie, like basically making that movie was like an afterthought. Like he wanted to just dive the wreck of Titanic. And then somebody gave him a bunch of money to do that. And he was like, oh, well, we can make a movie too. And it just like became one of the best movies of all time.
Right.
As like an afterthought. Like, okay, fine, we'll make a movie.
Wow. Nah,
right?
Yeah, no, it's pretty. You know, it's very good. And then of course, I mean, you know, Leonardo. You know, he was a young whippersnapper back then. I mean, that movie right there, at least to me, is what really made him like really take off. Because I know he did stuff before then, but like that was like a huge movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That he was forever known for. And
for sure.
And then even
he was in like Basketball Diaries and like Romeo and Juliet, like whatever.
Right. But he not only was in that movie, but I mean he bodied the role. You know what I'm saying? He dies at the end. You know, it's you know, and what I've learned about movies. I know it's not the movie podcast, but what I've learned about movies is like a good director can really make somebody a movie star. Like when they're not a star, you can do certain things to make the audience fall in love with the character that they're playing.
Right.
Which essentially makes them fall in love with that actor, and then they just blow up from that. Which just
that's like, what happened to Ryan Gosling.
Right. Or even like I was going to use Michael B. Jordan, and he kind of got on even for his muscles or whatever. But I remember watching. He was the first person I really saw that with, because I was watching Creed 2, actually, not for the first time. I had already seen Creed 1. I've seen Black Panther, whatever, but I was rewatching Creed 2, and when I was watching it, I was like, yo, I'm just watching like how they just really got this man looking at this movie, and the role he had to play and the obstacles he was up against and the legacy he's chasing. It's like, as a moviegoer, you'll come and you'll fall in love with Adonis Creed. Like, as a woman, of course, you'll love him just for, who he looks like, whatever like that. But then just the men or the movie watchers, whatever, you fall in love with that character. It's like, yo, because it's connected to the Rocky and the, Apollo Creed and the whatever. And then now you got Drago and then whatever. And then
so good, bro. I love those movies.
And I'm just watching. I'm watching him come to the ring. And he's glistening, and they got the song playing, and his girl, and all of these things, none of this is real. Like, all of these things are director's choices. You feel what I'm saying? Like, even to the point, go back to Rocky, you go to Philadelphia right now, like I've been once, Rocky has a statue next to the steps, as if it's a real person. You know what I'm saying? And it's not. And so what I'm saying is, like, that is like, that's a real thing. And even, and this is my last thing I said about it, I remember even Will Smith was talking about it in the first Bad Boys they made. He was talking about it as they were promoting the third Bad Boys. But he was saying that Michael Bay was trying to get him to do that scene where he runs with his shirt open. He was trying to have him have no shirt on at all.
Right.
He was just like, yo, he was like, man, I'm gonna make you to a fucking movie star, man. Just listen to me, man. Listen to me. But he just kind of compromised. I guess Will didn't want to run with absolutely no shirt on, so they compromised and just did the shirt open or whatever. But even that moment, like, Michael Bay knew, like, yo, you got this tall, young, handsome, popular dude. You know what I'm saying? He on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, he's the ladies' man between the two. Like Martin is the more comedic relief. You know what I'm saying? Will was kind of more of the suave or whatever. So we get a shot of him running with his shirt off. They gonna go crazy. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And so so that's a real thing. And I think that's very fascinating. I think it's very, 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 very fascinating to transform somebody's career. But going back to Titanic though, even with the chick who played Rose, I can't think of her name right now, but
Kate Winslet.
Yeah, right. She was gorgeous.
She's awesome too.
She's beautiful now, even as an older woman. But I'm saying back then, like, she was. Like, they were a perfect young, innocent,
Mm-hmm. She also doesn't make bad movies. Like, every movie she's in is a good movie.
Right.
Like, even that stupid one with Cameron Diaz where they, like, switch houses. That movie is good with Jack Black. I think it's called, like, The Holiday or something like that.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's good. Good movie.
But
I like those movies that, like, go by real fast, even though they're long, like, you don't even notice. Like, Rocky, for sure, the first one is one of those movies to me. Like, I've probably seen that movie like 50 times. I love the first Rocky. So good. Have you ever seen the first Rambo? First Blood?
I haven't seen any of the Rambos.
Really? Well, the other, like, the Rambo that we all know about is, like, fucking, like, action movie, just, like, bullets, explosions, shirtless. But the first, yeah, exactly. But the first Rambo, it's called First Blood, and it's a story about him, like John Rambo, coming back from Vietnam as, like, and he's kind of like a drifter, like a homeless person, walking through, like, a small town in Oregon, and the cops, like, fuck with him, and they arrest him for nothing, for no reason, and they go to, like, shave him, and he has, like, a PTSD, like, he freaks out. And escapes into the woods, and the police, like, try to come get him, and he, like, snaps into fucking Green Beret mode, like, back to Vietnam, and he's, like, running around, like, he's covered in, like, leaves and camouflage, and he has, like, mud on his face, and my favorite line is, like, he gets the sheriff up against a tree with, like, a knife like that up against his throat, and he's like, "In town, you're the law. Out here, it's me."
Oh,
Bro, that's one of my favorite movies.
Bro, I swear to God, I've been saving. I just know that movie's badass, and I've just been saving it for just the right moment to watch it. But I still have not.
That's what I'm suggesting for the movie podcast next week for sure. First Blood.
Oh, yo, that's lit. I would love to come on and talk about that. So,
I thought you said Lord of the Rings, Lonnie.
Lord of the Rings is too much of an effort, bro. It's like it's like I don't know if it's on Netflix. I don't think it is. And it's like I said, like there's no way you'd be able to like watch all 3 of them before next week unless that was your whole movies.
I thought you were just going to suggest one of them. Like
it's hard to do that. You have to start at the beginning and just watch all 3 because they don't stop. It's like one story that is just broken up into 3 movies.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but they still came out at 3 different times, though, right? So
they did, but he actually, one of the cool things about the movie is he actually filmed the whole movie, all 3 at once.
Move it. I hate when it does that with the cord.
So he filmed. It took 16 months of principal photography, which is like insane.
Right, for sure.
You know, that's like Apocalypse Now.
For sure. Gotcha.
But yeah, they filmed it all 3, and then yeah, they staggered the releases over I think 4 or 5 years.
I mean, that's pretty like, I'm sure it's strenuous to do, like up front, you know what I'm saying? Like to, you know, but the like you said, even especially with the principal photography, but once you got everything, you know, chopped up, whatever like that, and at this point you're just kind of just waiting to distribute type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure like that part of it is pretty sweet because now you're just collecting, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know too much about filmmaking, but I know, like, I read about it, and it said that, you know, most movies will have like a primary unit and a second unit, and they had 7 units shooting at one time, and there's something called the dailies. I don't know exactly what that is, but usually they're 30 minutes for a movie, and for Lord of the Rings they were 6 hours long, 5 hours long.
So to give you perspective of why that's long as shit, dailies are basically all the clips you shot from just that one day. From just that one day.
And is that the final cut of each shot? No, right? Like, is that like the best cuts, or you're watching every single cut?
It depends on if you have an editor on set, you can get him to go through and pick out the best and kind of just show you whatever like that. Or if you're, you know, director may want to see each one to be able to say, okay, I like that one the best. Or, you know what I'm saying? I like that one the best. And then even then, you can have an editor still on set to, after you point out which ones you like the best, put together a rough cut of, you know, all put it together a sequence of whatever scene you're shooting or whatever like that, so you can kind of have an idea of what it looks like. But either way, whichever way you decide, dailies are so they had 6 hours of everything they shot in that well, they had 6 hours of footage in one day,
which is wild. Yeah, bro. It's truly like an epic film, you know? Like you can see the way they shot it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen like clips and shit from it, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm aware of it. It's like, but like Lord of the Rings, not that these movies coincided necessarily, but like Lord of the Rings, like you said, Rambo, even like Indiana Jones, like movies like that, I know about. I've just, you know, and I've seen clips from it. I've seen whatever. I've seen rides. I've seen, you know, whatever. I've just never actually sat down and watched any of those from start to finish. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. What about Star Wars?
No, never seen Star Wars.
Really?
I'll fuck with Star Wars.
What about Lord of the Rings, Jay? Did you watch Lord of the Rings?
Never watched any Lord of the Rings.
Dude, I just watched it, and I watched the first one. I guess I watched them all like around when they came out in like 2003. But I was like, fuck this. It's too nerdy. It's too like elfish and dragon shit. And I didn't really like pay attention, you know? And I watched it today with I finished it last night, but with subtitles on. And bro, so fucking good. So good.
I mean, see, movies like that, like, it's kind of like we're long stuff or long movies, TV shows, or like long series or it's a trilogy, whatever like that. I kind of feel like once and not that it's the right thing, but once I miss the wave, like I'm okay with just being the person who didn't see it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even with like Color Purple, I didn't see Color Purple until I was in, at least in my late 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a movie I've always heard talked about. But when I remember the first time going to watch it, I remember seeing how long it was. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not that interested. But once I finally watched it, and even then, it was a good movie, but it still felt long as I thought it was.
Some movies, they really like need that length, that amount of time to really like tell the story appropriately. But like that was one of the things that pissed me off about The Irishman is like it was so long,
Bro.
And I still felt like there were things I didn't understand that they could have explained better. And I'm like, fuck you, 3.5 hours.
I never
trying to find something.
I never made it through the first 20 minutes. Like that shit was just not catching me. Even in the
it has good scenes. Like it's Martin Scorsese. It has like good parts of that movie. Like
that's an overall good project. That is an overall.
It's not
really.
bad.
I'm sorry.
It's not about it bad. But what my whole thing is like
Battery's gone.
When Chris,
battery fell out of it.
We don't care about you talking about your problem. We're trying to have a conversation. So when a movie is long, to me, like that shit has to be attention grabbing. And like for me, the reason why I even go, because even going to like Star Wars, whatever, I'm not sure how long those movies are. But
like 2.5 hours.
You said how long?
Like 2 hours and 15 minutes, I would say.
Right, so it's considered a long movie. But I've never not watched Star Wars because I thought it was nerdy or whatever.
Right.
But it had already been a thing before I had even thought about giving a fuck to even go watch it. You know what I'm saying? And
sure.
So me, I'm not about to go back to the fucking 1932 Star Wars or whatever, you know what I'm saying, just to come back here. Same thing even like with the show Power or Empire, all these shows. I haven't seen them because like they by the time they got rolling, I didn't have access to them because of cable or whatever. Once I missed them, hey, I just missed them. You know what I'm saying? Like it just is what it is. So I say that to say, going back to Lord of the Rings, as long as it's a movie, which it probably is because it's got the weird elements or whatever, as long as it's a movie that is attention grabbing, like in the first 15 minutes, I'm interested. It doesn't have to be this crazy shooting fighting scene. Just I'm interested in where this is going. Yeah. That makes me go ahead and ride out the whole whatever. But even like with Titanic, I mean, 90% of this movie, if not more, was on that boat. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't take much time. Like they showed how how they both got to the boat or whatever like that, and then from then on, like this shit rolled out until outside of the back and forth from the old lady telling the story, but that shit rolled out all the way until that shit wrecked. You know what I'm saying?
It's right here.
But because it's such a big boat, it's not like you're just seeing one scene. Like you're getting so many different elements, and this is constant chase, and they're hiding from people, and they're having sex in the car, and drawing her naked, and you know what I'm saying? It's just all this shit that's just going on, and it's like this Aladdin Princess Jasmine fucking theme with the street rat and the rich girl and whatever,
Right.
And all of that, it's not a shooting scene. It's not Fast and the Furious 5, but that's even as a storyline. Like okay, I'm curious to know where this goes next.
Sure.
Especially because I know that this motherfucker sinks at the end. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a good point. That's a great point. It's like
I think that's more what it is. If you didn't know, being in how you approach the other movies, I honestly think if you didn't know how Titanic was gonna end, you were not gonna make it past the first 20 minutes of that either.
It's kind of hard to say. I would have had to been in that situation. It's your assessment is fair. It's a chance that I wouldn't have probably wanted to give it a chance, but at the same time, I didn't. Once I started watching it, I didn't necessarily want to fast forward to the end either. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like even what I saw, even knowing the end, still caught my attention.
Because there is a movie that I'm thinking of that's like, it's the exact opposite. It's like you're watching it because you know a certain thing is going to happen. And then you like, the first 15 minutes of the movie are not that engaging and you're like done. Pearl Harbor. Have you ever seen that movie?
That movie sucks.
I think it was the opening scene. Whenever it was, they actually bombed.
That's not even the opening scene. That scene is like an hour and 40 minutes into a stupid love story that now I'm realizing it. Like now we're having this conversation. I'm like, oh, he totally stole from Titanic. and just wanted to like jam a love story into a fucking historical event. And I'm like,
100%.
what? Like, no one wants to watch Ben Affleck when Ben Affleck sucked. Like, do a shitty movie. Like, dude, get to the bombs. Like, let's go.
So that's ridiculous, because when I saw the fucking commercial for that movie, I literally thought it was just going to be an hour and a half of what really happened at Pearl Harbor, bro.
Right, me
they
too.
really painted it like that, too. And
the Pearl Harbor scene is dope. It's not bad.
Yeah, but it's not worth the buildup of this horrible love story. Oh, man, Pearl Harbor was a bad movie.
So bad. Did you guys ever see the movie Team America, where they have a whole song about how shitty the movie Pearl Harbor is?
Oh, yeah, Pearl Harbor sucks. And Team America's great.
One of my favorite movies is Team America, bro. So good.
Yo, I love Team America. Same.
Yeah, I never
Never seen Team America. Because you're black. Same thing with my girl. This is certain.
Bro, we gotta I gotta start making a list of movies for Rudy to watch. I gotta start recommending these movies and making him watch them. You didn't see Indiana Jones?
I'm just trying to tell y'all, man. I watched a lot of movies. I just grew up in a black household, so we just watched a lot of black films. Not because we were like racially like, yo, you need to see people who look like you on screen. It had nothing to do with that. It's just what we had. You know what I'm saying? You get bootlegs from the store, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's just what we had. So I did miss out on a lot of variety when it came down to cinema specifically, because I just wasn't aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't. And when I did watch white movies, a lot of times it was kid movies, like Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, Mary Poppins, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen a lot of shit like that. So
that's how I was until the internet hit. Once that happened, and I learned about LimeWire and shit and downloading movies and all kinds of shit, that pretty much just opened up everything. Everything I wanted to see, I was able to see after that point, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Chris, did you ever see Lord of the Rings?
Okay. Oh, I have not, but that's something I'm supposed to watch, and I am super putting that off, baby.
Let me
9 hours of my life.
The first 15 minutes of the Lord of the Rings are like, it's like Game of Thrones, but like what Game of Thrones copied, basically. The first 15 minutes like sets up the story.
Copied.
Yeah, like it's what Game of Thrones imitated. And the first 15 minutes, it's like sets up all of the like history, and in a quick way that's like not boring. It shows like action scenes that are like, and you're like, this. Then the next part of it is this, what's behind me, the Shire. And all it is talking about how hobbits, like, they love to like eat, drink beer, and smoke weed. I'm not exaggerating. I am not making that up. Like, they literally, it's called pipe weed. And you see them, they like sit like right here on the hill, and they like puff their pipes, and their eyes are like this, and they have like food all around them and shit. Dude, I'm like this is where I want to retire. The Shire.
Absolutely.
That's why I picked it.
But you know what's so crazy, bro? Like, they been showing motherfuckers smoking weed and shit. Like, I think that was like Peter Pan or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
They be hitting the pipe with the Indians or whatever, and them motherfuckers like they showing their face.
As fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like braiding up and shit.
Back in the black and white cartoon days, those motherfuckers had pipes blowing O's and shit.
Yeah.
That shit was always in cartoons.
But I'm saying like, but see, some of them tried to give off the impression that it was just smoking like a pipe tobacco, but then like they'll show like when they smoking with Indians or Native Americans rather specifically, they would indicate like this is more than just, you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
It would be like an ayahuasca. Like in the Simpsons movie when he went on that fucking spiritual journey. That was
with Johnny Cash, dude.
Yeah.
The Simpsons?
Bro.
The Simpsons movie. You never seen it?
No, that's not the movie. That's an episode.
But either way, that
was an episode.
He eats the hot pepper.
In the movie. Either way, that's the Simpsons though. That's they're already reckless. I'm talking about like
drug addicts.
Cartoons that's like not that where it wasn't supposed to be there. Like Peter Pan was not supposed to have weed smoke.
Yeah, bro, do you guys remember that movie Cats and Dogs? There's like a scene in that movie. It's a kids movie with like talking cats and dogs. There's a scene where they like stumble into a bunch of cats smoking catnip, and they're all like high as fuck. Bro, don't you remember in Shrek when they take the fucking catnip off of Puss in Boots and they're like, catnip, we got him. And it's like,
I remember that. Yeah,
that's not mine. That's
oh
a friend.
yeah. He's like, that's not mine or whatever. Right.
Yep. And they like drop the bag like it's like drugs, like any cop would do. We got him.
Hey, Lonnie.
So,
I wanted to ask you earlier. Since this actually came up just randomly in a conversation with me and Rudy, we made a movie reference. Since we are in movies, have you seen the 5 Heartbeats?
The 5 Heartbeats.
Nah.
That's
No.
what I'm saying. Yeah, and that's why I need to make a list for Lonnie to watch. We just
What's that?
need-
What is that movie? It sounds
list.
familiar.
The 5 Heartbeats is a historical black movie.
It's a
Wow, Jay just said it's a historical black movie. That's dope. That's a good way to put it.
It is
Iconic.
a historical,
I say iconic
not
is a
the
good
theme, not the theme of the movie. It's not a historical theme movie, but it is a historical movie in the black community.
Okay.
Basically about a singing group in the, what was it, like the 60s or something like that?
Yeah,
All
but
black
they were. It's made up though. It's not a real group. They
weren't based on a real. Well, they were.
When did this movie come out? Because I think I have seen this.
Yeah.
The movie itself probably came out in maybe like the 90s, 80s.
I think I have seen this movie. It's like they're supposed to be the Temptations, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Something like that. Yeah, and it basically just showed the trials and tribulations of a black group back then, and that shit is super dope.
Dude, if one of the things that like when I really was like introduced to black people, one of the things that I was like bonded with them was all of black movies that I had seen in my whole life. You know, like fucking Friday, for example, and just like all of the next Fridays, like all of them, and fucking like Soul Plane, and I'm just trying to think of like the fucking movie with
ain't no Soul Plane. Soul Plane a funny ass movie, bro.
Soul Plane is good. I mean, it's if you take it for what it is.
It's funny. It's just not a good movie.
But my whole thing is, but like, how many movies are we watching that are like really like a good movie like that? That's got like, you know, a story or whatever. Like, but I'm saying it was a comedy. It was literally a star-studded comedy. It had a bunch of funny ass niggas in there, and like when you watch it, it's literally a funny movie. Like I literally found out. I ain't gonna say found out. I really learned in depth who Kevin Hart was after that movie. I had jumped on the bandwagon from Soul Plane because of how funny that movie was. Even Method Man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like Snoop Dogg, them creating that plane, the fucking club on the top deck, and the fucking scene, and fucking John Witherspoon fingering the baked potato. Come on, man. Like, bro.
That movie made me want to try Hypnotic really badly.
Yeah, right.
That really shitty liquor.
Right, you got fucking Heather Hunky. You got the dude with the really big dick that stole the white girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it was
fucking
so
Tom Arnold is the like dad. You remember that?
Right, exactly, bro.
The white dad that's on the wrong plane.
Right, yeah, so many fucking stereotypes.
The hunky.
Fucking what's your boy name? Godfrey was Gayman.
Yeah.
Gayman, yeah.
Bro.
Do you guys remember Don't Be a Menace?
Of course.
Of course.
Dude.
Classic.
So good.
Classic.
I love a spoof.
Hey, listen,
I love a movie that like spoofs other movies, you know?
Oh yeah, that's the Waynes all day though.
While we on the subject of movies, I fucked up on the first pot roast when we asked what was my favorite black movie. I had a brain freeze because I was so fucking high. I have to say Life. Life is the best fucking movie.
Life.
I love that movie.
Such a hard movie to watch though, man.
The combination of Eddie Murphy and Martin is fucking perfect. Comic gold.
It is.
You said it's a long movie? Yeah,
Very
it's a long
long.
movie.
Yeah, Life is a long movie. And I watched that many times.
You don't care.
I watched that many times. And quote every fucking line too.
Type shit.
That movie is very hard for me to watch though. Do you guys not feel that?
Why is that? Oh, because
the fucking like injustice. Like they literally lose their entire life.
I know.
Let me ask you something, Lonnie.
But they make it so fucking funny. That's what's so
I'll tell you.
The funniest part of that movie is when they're old and they're at the Yankees game and they can't catch the wave. Oh,
exactly.
Yeah, that's just yeah. But no, that whole movie is just dope from beginning to end. I don't
I
know
would say-
how many times I watched that movie.
My favorite black movie is probably How High. How High or fucking Friday, bro. Friday is a fucking. I watched that movie literally hundreds of times.
Yeah, you can never
Of
go on
course.
Friday.
Of course, everybody's seen Friday hundreds of times.
Right.
That's just one of those movies.
Dude, I've
Ronnie.
seen Friday After Next hundreds of times.
Facts. That's
You know?
another one.
I love that. That might be my favorite one. You know, like, I don't know why.
Oh.
It just makes me fucking die laughing.
Yeah, to me, I think they all three hold their own individually. Like
Yeah.
I think they all were literally good
Facts.
movies. Like each one was funny. Like each one was good.
All right.
And they all had very different vibes, you know, like each movie, like Friday After Next took itself the least seriously. It was like just a goofy movie. There was no like real undertone message about it.
Right.
And it was just like, to me, Mike Epps and Ice Cube and Cat Williams. That was like when Cat Williams first came on the scene. I don't know, man. That was just like a magical movie. Ricky Smiley is
Cat
fucking,
Williams, fucking and Terry Crews. That was that.
That's right, Terry Crews.
Yeah,
That's right, man.
Yeah. That was Terry Crews' big break too.
Terry Crews, bro. Fucking.
Mhm.
Did Damon and Debo meet up? I'm trying to remember how that.
No.
movie ends.
They never.
No.
met up. They should have.
They should have though, right?
Maybe in last Friday. Maybe in last Friday.
Oh, that's the next one they're making.
Well, they were supposed to make it. I don't know if they're gonna make it. now
Yeah,
that,
Yeah, but I heard they couldn't get Chris Tucker.
Well,
said
it's really John Witherspoon now because he's dead now. So
Yeah.
But this was
Yeah.
years ago. I heard that Chris Tucker didn't want to be in it.
well, that's why. Well, Chris Tucker stopped
Yeah,
being in Fridays altogether. It wasn't just like the last Friday or whatever. It just was. I mean, he just stopped.
Yeah, but they were trying to get him back. They were trying to get him back for
Right.
the last one, and he was pretty much going back and forth on it.
Right.
And now, who knows what'll happen now.
But see, because he don't want to be that the smoking weed character.
No.
You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So
He also probably I think he
now
like
it
blew
wouldn't
up
make
a lot.
sense. They're fucking 40. It wouldn't even make sense. He's gonna still be that pothead ass Smokey
Right.
down the street like that, ain't, or that ain't gonna make no sense. So
I mean, but even Damon and Debo can't beat up at this point. Them motherfuckers too old to fight, man. Who the
Right,
fuck
exactly.
gonna
They're like
fucking
in their
tiny
60s.
lister for the fucking fight.
They're
facts.
John Witherspoon in the first Friday trying to fight each other. Like, no, we don't. That's not interesting.
No, they're gonna have fucking Tyrone and Ezel fighting each other.
Right? You can't even probably find them two motherfuckers. What's the name? The nigga who played Ezel don't even fuck with Ice Cube. He said he did him wrong.
Yeah, that's right. After the first one.
Ezel was supposed to be in,
Ezel.
I think it was supposed to be in next Friday or whatever like that. But I think they ended up.
Which one was
They
that?
shoot-
I don't remember his
They
name.
started shooting without him.
The crackhead, right? Okay, yeah.
He was supposed to be in next Friday, and they
That
started
guy's a
shooting without
comic,
him.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a comedy. Yeah.
AJ Johnson.
Dude, DC Curry was fucking hilarious as a comic. I saw him on Comedy Central Presents a couple times. So good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you mean was? That nigga still doing it.
Is he? I don't know why I thought he died. My bad.
Wow.
Fuck
Fucking
off. Whatever.
wow.
I don't know. People
Nah,
die.
he's still alive.
He thought they don't bury Uncle Elroy and Pops together.
Yeah, right, type shit. God damn. Willie don't die, I gotta die too.
He's still out here.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing. But yeah, dude, funny.
You know who else
I
was a
thought
really
Ricky
good comic that I didn't even know of was Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Oh, Mark Kerr.
Yeah,
You
he was
didn't know he was funny, or you didn't know he was a comic?
I mean, like, I remember watching Hanging with Mr. Cooper when I was a kid, and then also, like, being a kid and watching his stand-up and how that's not his, like, character at all. He's, like, dirty as fuck.
Nah.
And he was really funny, too.
Yeah.
He's like Bob Saget. Like, Bob Saget had this, like, image of him being super nice and super, like, family friendly, and then, like, his stand-up is not.
And that's because that's how they be getting the full houses in the Hang with Mr. Coopers from the stage. They be like, yo, you funny. We gonna dial it back and go family show and, you know what I'm saying, let you thrive there type shit.
Yeah.
But that even still allows them. That still allows them to a certain degree to be able to use their popularity from the show go to the comedy clubs and still
Sure.
be just as, authentic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? As
Right.
So
That also must be annoying though to some degree, because you're definitely going to run into people that are not expecting that, and they're going to walk out.
Of course, he talked about that shit. He talked about that shit all the time. Bob Saget.
Yeah.
About how
Adam
they thought he
Sandler
was
too. Like Adam Sandler, his stand-up was way dirtier than his movies.
way dirtier than his movies.
Yeah, he used to like sing. He had like comedy albums, singing albums that were dirty as fuck.
His movies are pretty raunchy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like you should listen to his old records. They're fucking filthy.
Damn.
Yeah.
He made it worse.
I mean, he had titties in his movie, so
He did? There were no titties in Adam Sandler movies.
The early movies, there were no titties in Happy Gilmore.
They were insinuated in Waterboy.
Right, and then there were like maybe
There were no titties in Happy Gilmore.
No, not in Happy Gilmore.
No, Billy Madison. I mean, yeah, Billy Madison.
In Happy Gilmore, he like signs them, but they're not naked. They're not like nipples.
I could have swore I saw nipples in fucking Billy
Nah,
Madison.
bro. There's no. I watched Billy Madison when I was like 6. There's no way.
Really?
It was like marketed to children, dude. Adam Sandler, he was like a child, like for kids.
Damn, I thought I saw titties.
Mm-mm.
I hate motherfuckers.
Mandela effect. The Mandela effect happened to just me.
Oh, my bad. What you say? Go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I said the Mandela effect happened to just me.
The Mandela effect.
Yeah. You know how you
What is
thought
that?
something happened? You guys haven't heard about the fucking Mandela effect? You know, like the fucking Looney Tunes. Is Looney Tunes spelled Tunes or Toons?
It's Tunes.
Has it always been that?
Yeah, right? Because it's Looney, Looney, Tunes, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you remember it always being that?
I mean, honestly, I remember both in my brain right now.
See, exactly.
Is
but
that the
they
Mandela
claim
effect?
that it was always just the Tunes, but some people argue that it was that at one point they remember Toons. Whoa.
Oh shit.
We got new groceries in this motherfucker. It's a stock of celery. What's ham, man?
All the white people are just, y'all are just, I mean, you might as well just color your skins at this point.
Am I in?
Your time
You're in.
Color your kids at this point. You're in, bro.
I'm in. Two white guys and two black guys. It's perfect.
Where's Chris? What happened to him?
He felt the energy. He was off balance. He's white. He was in the middle.
Right. But I was gonna say
he would have been the
mixture.
fusion. He would have been the fusion between the two groups.
Right.
Yes, he would have been the connection. But I like how on the side it's white, black, white, black. It just.
I
have it as like a checkerboard. It's like black, white,
make
white.
gallery view.
Yeah, me and Rudy are at the top on mine.
Well, mine is white, black. So Lonnie's in my top left, then me, then Jay, and then Aaron.
45 minutes left in the podcast. We're just talking about the squares of where these racial segregations are on the Zoom.
Well, we didn't have to do it till you showed up, motherfucker.
Oh, that's right.
That is true. That is true.
So how's it going? How's it going, Aaron? And what's going on with your hair?
My hair is a concoction of not having it cut, and then the Jew curls that Lonnie would have if he had hair.
No, I never had curls. I never had the Jew curls. The Jew fro.
It's in his pubes.
I perm it out every month.
You don't like the hair? It's not bad, right?
I thought, what happened to bicking it? I thought you were going to do it bald.
I know. I thought about that, and I'm glad I didn't, because I would have looked like I was, in a bad place. Having a shaved big head as a white man with blue eyes is not the look right now.
No.
Yeah.
It is not, sir.
That's pretty accurate.
I would have showed up to the protest like trying to support Black Lives Matter, and they would have been like, "Get out of here!"
No, DJ would have stomped your ass out.
I'm with you guys.
Is that your room?
This is in my living room. This is the back wall of my living room.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that looks a little. I remember your wall being that close behind you in your room.
No. This is just the living room setup.
What is that written to your left? No, yeah. That.
It's a whole bunch of things that I own that I don't use.
What are they? Let's can you read some of them off?
Yeah. Bluehost subscription so I can have unlimited websites and hosting websites, $180 a year. Divi, website builder, $180 a year. Canva, that's a graphic design thing, $140 a year.
You use Canva.
I do use Canva now.
So scratch it off.
No, I'm just trying to remind myself what I have so I can use it more.
And brag on your podcasts?
I hate technology. I wish I didn't have to use it.
Shut your ass up. Fucking the whole fucking house is technology.
Is that written on the wall? I can't see.
No. It's like a
okay.
A giant Post-it note.
He's like in a prison cell. He's just writing down.
Scratches it in with a fucking nail file.
I'm trying to pretend I'm in my living room. I'm in jail.
Like Canva.
Like in the cell sharpening spoons and shit, right?
He's literally calling us from prison. We had no idea this whole time. He's like, no, this is actually my living room. In my my toilet's right here.
Yeah, you guys didn't let me finish my sentence.
The fuck?
How do you have a Christmas tree, Rudy? You getting ready for December?
The same reason you got the fucking porch lights behind you. With two fucking plants. The fuck?
The reason why I have these lights is because the light bulbs in my ceiling are gone, and I haven't bought new light bulbs, so this is the only light I have in the house.
Okay, I guess that's accurate. I mean, I just have a Christmas tree because a neighbor was throwing it out, and I've created this whole backdrop for me to record on Zoom.
I like it.
Do you? Only the white people like it. All the black people just roast me about it.
Really?
No, I think it's shitty, and it makes me uncomfortable as a Jew.
As a Jew? Well, you don't even get the Jew curl, so I don't respect that.
Right, that's true. Touche.
He could grow the things, though. He could grow the things.
I could grow the things.
Oh,
I have to iron them out, though.
Wait a minute. Do those not have an official name? Like even Jew people
I can grow the thing. Does he have the things? Does he have the things?
Like both of them called the thing.
Is he the
Rudy,
Jew
I would
with the
feel more
thing?
accurately represented if you had a menorah. I'm just gonna say.
What is that?
Oh, you're off to a bad start. The thing for Hanukkah, bro. The thing with the fucking candles.
Oh, yeah, I don't mean if they would have had one sitting out there, I would have grabbed it. Like I don't even use Christmas trees. I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, no
Wow.
Jew's getting rid of his menorah for free.
It's
You maybe could buy one.
Yeah, menorah.
Yeah, see, no, I'm not. See, this was free.
Are menorahs expensive?
No, I mean I'm sure there are expensive menorahs, but you can probably get one for like, I don't know, $8. What do I look like, a fucking menorah salesman?
No, you look like
You have to sound like a menorah fucking marketing fucking guy. Like you put me on game. I didn't know what the fuck it was. Fucking menorah.
Do I
I
look
think
like
I just found my calling.
No, I don't celebrate Hanukkah, so I don't know.
It's a good holiday.
Huh?
It's a great holiday.
8 days of lights, you know. It's pretty.
I mean,
It's all
I don't
nonsense.
celebrate
Like it's not an important holiday for Jews at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Only thing I really ever learned. Oh, look, there you go. Boom.
Yay!
How much did that cost you? Or did you get that at your bar mitzvah?
I took it from my parents' house. I don't know.
That's how all menorahs exist.
There was one menorah bought centuries ago.
Right. We all just share it.
That was relevant in Israel.
Right.
Hell no.
Only the real lesson I got about like Hanukkah and stuff like that was an episode of Rugrats back in the 90s.
Yep.
And they were
The horror.
they were talking about the ladles and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, that was like the
That
best.
Fucking Chucky was Jewish.
Braces.
Vaguely familiar.
You said, what'd you say?
The
Aaron?
old Chuckster.
That menorah's melted down from other Jewish kids' braces.
Is braces like a Jewish stereotype? I didn't know. I don't know.
I thought it'd be a funny thing to say that we got the metal.
Are you running bits on us again, Aaron? Jesus Christ! Don't start that shit. All right.
That's Saturday, right? That's Saturday.
Yeah. That's a totally different podcast. Don't start that shit.
Totally different podcast. Hell no.
You definitely have like the I'm trying to think, like, is it like Vince Vaughn? Like, it's one of them actors that always have like the thicker hair up top, like in movies or whatever. I think it's Vince Vaughn, and every time he talks or like goes crazy, it's like a.
Right now, he looks like Christopher Walken
And Kramer. You look like
And
Kramer. That's who
Kramer.
it is. Fucking Kramer.
I don't want Kramer.
No, that's definitely the Kramer hair for sure.
Well, that's who you look like. I don't want to look like the guy from fucking Remember the Titans, but here we are.
But I feel like Kramer had more like a, like a side thing.
Yeah, he did. He did.
You know,
Right.
He's got a little bit on the,
I mean, he also probably had a bigger dick. Who cares? What the point is? the point is.
Whoa! This is not that kind of podcast.
It's not.
Hey, he was gonna pull it down. He would have a pussy. Like, what was that? But yeah, no, that's definitely the Kramer hair. The flow of it, the curl with the jump.
What was the other name that was thrown out? I'll take that over Kramer.
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken. No, it was definitely way more Kramer.
Oh, Christopher Walken. I'll take Christopher Walken.
It's okay, Kramer. We're going with Kramer.
No, you'll take what we give you.
You grew the hair. You get Kramer. All right.
Right. You can shave it. No one's stopping you from shaving it.
Lonnie could be George with a beard.
Right.
That would look terrible bald.
And me and Rudy are in the live studio audience because they never had black people on the show.
We did two guest appearances on the Cosbys.
Yeah, you're visiting. You're visiting the set.
We was one of the kids at Rudy's birthday party, and like
The other one came in with Theo from school one day.
Right?
That was it.
Some random dumbass kid. Hey, what's up, Dr. Huxtable? Hey, get out my house. All right, and he leaves. You never see him again. He's done.
Hey, I was on the Cosby Show.
Right, that's his claim to fame.
That's the whole thing.
Like, that one little chunky white kid, he got famous. He was on that one episode for riding on Bill Cosby's leg, the little horsey thing with the birthday thing. And he stayed on for a long time or whatever. And never no, he drug it down, but it was another kid that stayed on for a long time. And that was the only episode they ever did on the Cosby Show. And they would remember for that shit all the way to now. That one fucking episode. That shit crazy. That go back to what we was talking about, Lonnie, like making people stars. You give somebody a very important moment on screen, and they'll blow the fuck up.
That's right, dude. That's how like The Rock became a star. Like he did an episode of Saturday Night Live and just like killed it.
Really?
And they were like,
I only knew him from wrestling.
Well, yeah, he was a wrestler, but then he like hosted Saturday Night Live, and they were like, man, this guy can like talk and act, like he's got chops.
Right.
And then they were like, let's put this guy in movies, and that's how his career started. Interesting, right?
They didn't know that from wrestling?
Huh?
They didn't know that he can act from wrestling?
I mean, dude, can fucking Stone Cold Steve Austin act? I don't think so. You ever seen his movies? They suck.
That's true.
He was cool in The Longest Yard. That's the only one that I've seen.
Yeah, he basically playing himself, a fucking racist meathead.
Wow.
And I like how they give Goldberg a big dick. They just like, let's just make him the big dick bandit. Like he's the one shutting the tail down.
Dude, and remember his number was an X? I thought that was so
I was just thinking about that. They didn't even have a number, just X.
So dope.
No, they casted that movie very well, especially for both teams, for the guards and the convicts.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Brian Bosworth and fucking Eddie Romanowski.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
for you two, Jay, and Jay, you know who those two guys are, right?
Yeah.
Just and those guys are the like meanest linebackers in history, dude.
Exactly. And fucking what's the name? Joey Diaz, fucking in the
fucking Joey Diaz, and then Bob Sapp,
that's where I first saw Joey Diaz.
Yeah, me too.
He's laying on the ground. He's like, "You motherfuckers better not cut me."
Yeah. Can of corn. Give me a Diet Coke. I'll be all right.
Give me a Diet Cola.
I'll be all right.
Hey, what's your guy name? The Spanish little funny actor, the one who
that's Nick Turturro.
With Morgan, not Morgan Freeman. What's his boy name? Tracy
Morgan.
Yeah, he was like, I had him in the headlock. I was giving him a good
Yeah. You know who that is? That's John Turturro's brother, Nick Turturro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot that was brother.
I gotta look at who that is.
John Turturro is Jesus from The Big Lebowski. He's also the agent from the Transformers movies.
Yeah, the agent from the Transformers movies. Have you ever seen that Johnny Depp movie, Secret Window? He was the dude in the hat.
Rudy, are you looking up? Are you on your computer right now or some device?
Yeah, I'm on my phone looking it up. John.
Okay, look up John Turturro, Eraserhead, and then look at Aaron.
Yeah, but what's his last name? Turturro.
Turturro. Turturro.
Tootsie Roll.
Huh? What'd you say? Tootsie Roll.
That's what it sounds like.
Aaron looked like he been drinking the last 10 days straight. Every day he's just been taking shots before bed.
I have been.
Yeah. I was afraid of that. I was afraid that's where we were headed.
We brought him on here as an intervention.
Right. Well, Chris left, so now we have to have another alcoholic come on.
Like Christian, he just never even came back. Like he's just gone.
Right.
Like
he sounded really sad when he lost some battery. He's like, "Fuck, the battery's gone, man."
Oh, his phone must have died.
That might have taken the wind out of his sails for the evening.
It may not have cut back on yet. Shit may just be off.
Dude, my phone takes like 25 minutes to turn back on if the battery dies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you fuck around and let an iPhone die, you might as well just let that shit sit. That motherfucker.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, you got to go do something else.
Yeah.
You got to go do something else.
And the thing about it is, if it's on 1% and you plug it with charge, if you look up in 20 minutes, it'll be damn near full. It charges fast. If you let that motherfucker fuck around and die,
yeah.
Go work.
Dude, I have a wireless charger here. It's just like a pad that you lay the phone on that charges in 8 minutes. It's wild.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's almost does it die? Does it die quickly too?
No. I mean, I'm exaggerating because I'm a fucking Miami exaggerator, but it fucking it fucking charges fast.
That nigga said, "Yeah, I'm exaggerating."
That nigga said it like that. Like that's like the local softball team. I'm a Miami exaggerator.
Oh my god, that's okay. If we ever shoot a movie and there's a team, that's the name of the team.
Right.
The Miami Exaggerators.
The Miami Exaggerators.
Bro, I did 8 pounds of coke. I did
Right.
That's hilarious.
The Miami Exaggerators. This man Aaron got a black and white chair. This man is trying to show unity like a motherfucker, ain't he? He ain't trying to be left out.
Dude, I wonder if the chair is on the list of things he doesn't use. Oh, there he is.
What the hell?
Dude, there's actually a comic that looks like this. Did you get? What was that guy's name, man? He was on the group chat. He was so annoying, bro. What was that guy's name?
He was on the group chat.
Yeah, bro. He used to beef with Rodrigo every 10 minutes. He was the one that fucking Jonathan Ceballos caught a ride with one time. You remember? And he said he was the most annoying guy. I think his name was Andy.
Oh yes, Andy used to come to my open mics.
Yes, he looks exactly like Aaron with that wig.
That's my uncle.
Is he really?
No.
Oh, jeez. I thought I insulted Aaron's uncle. And we're no longer friends now.
Just sitting here talking shit about the man uncle.
It's like that.
I've done that before.
What? Insult somebody's uncle?
Insult people that like are close to the person that I'm talking to without realizing it.
Like, look at this dusty bitch. That's my mom.
I've done it way. I'm like, oh. Like, look at this fucking asshole here. I used to sell out a lot. Jay knows.
Hey, what was that actor's name? I had to restart my phone. What was that actor's name?
John Turturro.
Oh, John.
If you just put in like John T-U-R-T.
Well, yeah. I got it. I had to. Yeah, this guy. Yeah. And they're brothers. Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. And then look up John Turturro Eraserhead, and then tell me it doesn't look like Aaron with his hair. We're waiting with bated breath.
I'm trying to find. It's showing like this fucking. You talking about this?
Yeah. Oh, Barton Fink. Barton Fink. That's it. Barton Fink. That's right. I always get that mixed up.
I was trying to find a picture with just him.
It's Barton Fink. Yeah.
Barton Fink.
Barton Fink. It's supposed to be a really good movie. I've never watched it though. Have you guys seen the? Yeah. Oh, here he is.
Whose man is this?
Joe Bob Shapiro.
Joe Bob Shapiro. Joe Bob Shapiro.
That's funny as shit.
Are you like running through like all your characters with us to see do we approve? Like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. At least say something. Like, don't just sit down. Like, give us a spiel. Come on, do your thing.
What's one of Joe Bob's jokes? I don't even know.
If you want to pee, you go in here. If you want to poop,
outside, yeah.
You go outside. If you want to poop, you go further outside.
I don't want to call it making love to a woman. I want to get you naked.
Naked.
No, it's the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly.
I got all my teeth.
I got all my teeth.
All my teeth.
My mama, my daughter, my baby, my honey, and my cousin are
all
different women.
Oh, you.
Yeah, keep calling that nigga out.
I just know his jokes, and I can do that accent really well.
Hey, what about the one at the store?
Oh, I don't know that one.
When he's talking about like the lady, or is it like the lady at the cashier like judges him or some shit? I forgot how it goes, but basically,
I forget.
Yeah, him being white in a Spanish neighborhood,
right?
And, yeah, the beep boop and yeah.
No.
Oh, we're moving on.
Hey, he's like, no, they don't like this wig.
I'm done. Battery has like a clock that's ticking down. We just can't see it. And it's like, okay, 3 minutes, time to change.
Hey, it's like a wig open mic.
Oh shit, dude, that's hilarious, bro. Whoever's idea this was very funny. What's up, Shane? How you doing, bro?
Good to see you.
Yeah, man.
That'd be funny.
I was like, that's a good wig, man. You look totally different.
It'd be funny. That was
I was like, yo, yeah.
How you like this makeup change?
Right.
He changed the wig and the shirt and looks completely different. I was about to say, that's a hell of a disguise, bro. That's the best disguise yet.
Good to see you, Bo.
Good to see you.
Fucking
Aaron. Stay, bro.
Dang.
This man gonna come back in a leotard. Watch.
Right. No, I bet you we're gonna see blonde wig this time. Let's see.
It's gonna be a black.
He can hear us. He gonna switch it up.
Oh right, fuck. I don't know why I figured he
afro
wasn't around.
It's gonna have a black power afro with a pick and they got the fist on the back.
Dude, Lauren has one of
God
those.
Damn it! I had the T-shirt to go with it and everything. Rudy, fuck. Throw that shit out.
Dude, when I saw that for the first time, those Afro pics with the black power fist, it blew my mind. Oh, I knew it. Here we are. Michelle Michelle Shapiro.
I'm moving to California to go surfing with Rudy.
Dude, that's not a man's wig. That's a woman's.
For sure, that's a woman.
Really?
Hey, I know a Bob when I see one.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a bad bitch when I see one. Hey, that is not a guy. That's not Wayne's World, nigga. You got that under the beauty shop. Fuck out of here.
Auditioning for a Motley Crue role.
The other one was way more Motley Crue. You look way more like.
Yeah, I was about to say you look. I couldn't remember the name of the band, but you had looked like MGK in the fucking movie about Motley Crue with the first one.
Yeah, with the other one, but this one is flat out Britney Spears.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Christina Aguilera. This is
Britney Spears looks like. This is what Britney Spears looks like after a blowjob.
Don't encourage the behavior, bro. What the fuck?
Right. I wonder when Aaron gets back. I want to ask him some questions about these wigs.
It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny what he said, but that shit did look funny when he jumped.
Aaron, when did these wigs? Did you buy all of these wigs recently?
Oh,
yeah, I really want to know where these wigs came from.
The gray wig I bought a few weeks ago because I want to come up with a character named Professor Contradiction. The redneck wig came from Halloween because Shane wanted to be someone from Stranger Things.
What is Jay doing? What is wrong with everybody tonight?
Right.
Laura bought that wig and she she left the house today and then came back with the wig on and told me she had dyed her hair. And I believed her for a little bit.
Bro.
So that's Laura's wig?
That last one. The Britney Spears book.
She wears it?
She wore it today. She's trying to, spice things up for me so I can feel like I'm getting a little excitement in our relationship.
She bought it for him to wear to spice things up.
Yeah,
right. That's the big reveal.
You should have seen the dress she bought me.
Right.
She's like, the Jew curls just don't do it. Here, put this on. Put this on.
This nigga getting paid in this motherfucker.
And don't kink shame. He likes what he likes.
Hey, I'm not shaming him. I'm just stating what's up.
Hold on. First of all, we
didn't know what was going on.
Wait, we got to go back for a second. So y'all trying to tell me y'all never seen a girl get up from giving head and her hair is just covering up?
Of course.
Y'all never seen, bro.
There's pieces.
Bro, that was so accurate when you did that, bro. That was so funny. It was just that one part when you popped up and she looking at you like, what? You want me to stop? And her hair is just, bro, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off my shit.
Hey, yeah, man. Hey, so what? Now we'll go back to the wigs. Now are these characters you've done on screen before? Or this is your coming out party? What's happening?
The redneck wig I've worn to events I've hosted where it was like a costume party.
Which one was the redneck one? The first one?
The redneck one.
Motley Crue, yeah.
That's Joe Bob Shapiro.
Joe Bob Shapiro.
What's the rest of the costume?
What does Joe Bob wear again? No, it could be anything. I wore like a jean jacket and like a white T-shirt.
Okay.
You were trying to look like one of the fucking what the motherfuckers from Greece, the T-Birds or whatever. Fucking John Travolta.
Hey, it looked like Joe Dirt.
Yeah, Joe Dirt. It could be Joe Dirt.
That's what I thought it was. I thought it was a Joe Dirt wig.
I'll take Joe Dirt.
Dude, you know that people hate that movie, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Joe Dirt is the shit.
That's a great movie.
Yo, David Spade movies are low key fire.
Did you guys see the latest David Spade movie that it came out?
Which one?
Yes.
Which one?
The Wrong Missy.
Yeah, The Wrong Missy. You like it?
No, I didn't see that. I also did. You guys see it's like Father of the Year or something like that?
I saw that. Yo, that movie is funny. That movie is really funny.
I might watch that one. But I also love
actually
Dickie Roberts. You remember that movie?
I didn't see Dickie Roberts.
Oh,
I know of it.
Man.
I know of it, but I
Star
didn't see
Dickie Roberts. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Is Father of the Year good? It is.
I don't know.
Father of the Year is good. Father of the Year is not a bad movie, but it's very funny. Overall, it's a decent movie, but it is very funny though.
I honestly got introduced to David Spade not from his own movies first. It was from him and Chris Farley.
Of course, that's how we all.
Yeah. So and
that's how we started.
But I'm saying, but then from Chris Farley movies, I didn't really pay him that much attention, knowing that it was his movie until like Emperor's New Groove.
Right.
Like it was like.
Dude, I love in Tommy Boy when he like shows how bald he is for a second, and then he's never admitted that again for like 25 years. But David Spade is super bald.
Really?
And he's hid it forever. But he shows it in Tommy Boy when the fan blows. Remember?
He wears like a
I remember.
I haven't seen Tommy Boy so long. I remember that part kind of, but I don't.
They're like in the factory at the end, and like something gets like hit, and the fan like blows his like hair back, and he's super bald, and he like looks at like Chris Farley's the only one that sees it, and he's like, "Don't tell anybody. That shit's funny, man."
and they just kept it in the movie.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't. I think it was on purpose. I don't think it was like a fucking blooper. But yeah, David Spade is super bald. But there was another movie, man. I'm trying to think of. Oh no, David Spade's not in that movie. But I love Almost Heroes, Chris Farley's last movie. You remember that one?
Never saw it.
The last movie I seen with Chris Farley was probably, what was it, Beverly Hills Ninja or whatever it was.
So good.
Yeah.
But not good. Not a good movie, but very good.
Not a good movie, but
dude, it's funny, man. I like watch these movies now, and I'll be like high, and I'm like saying to myself, like 40 minutes into the movie, I'm like, I've been laughing and shit, and I'll be like, this is not a good movie. This is just not good. It's not a good movie.
You know what's a good movie, but had really bad actors, and I didn't realize it until I was an adult. The fucking Little Rascals. Like I watched that recently. I was like, yo, these kids, like the only person who could act was fucking, I can't think his real name, but was Alfalfa.
Alfalfa. He was in a couple movies. That kid.
Alfalfa and Waldo.
Huh?
Alfalfa and Waldo.
Well, yeah, but Waldo had small parts, but I'm saying like the main rascals that was always in it, like the Spankies and whoever else, like those kids was trash. Like they could like
so bad, bro.
What's the number to 911?
Yeah,
I don't know.
But even them, they was okay because they was younger. Like the Stymie and Buckwheat, like they was young, and they always gave. I noticed they gave them really small parts. Like they just kept showing them in increments, like chasing a duck or eating the pickles or whatever the case may be. But like the people who were like constantly in dialogue and had main roles, even fucking what's your dude name that had the bald kid that had the top hat or whatever it was.
Stymie.
Oh, that was Stymie. Yeah. So what's the legit name then? That was with Buckwheat.
Spanky.
Huh?
Spanky.
No, the one who was with Buckwheat.
Who fell in the water?
Froggy. Not Froggy.
Froggy.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name. I can't
Jesus, Jay. When was the last time you watched this movie? Like last week?
Bro, this is a movie I grew up on. You tripping? And
I grew up on it too, man. But like, I realized it was awful when I was like 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I can't watch this anymore, dude.
No, but the thing about it is the story of it is good. Like, it's a really good storyline. Like, even though, the whole whatever, like, you got this fucking kid who's, like, in love with this girl, but he doesn't want to disappoint his friends who are, like, built this club on hating women. And then, they, and it's built around this race. They fucking car gets stolen by
right, they do. I remember the race.
Yeah, it's like it's so much going on. Like it's actually a good story, but like the kids themselves, and there's good child actors, which is why I'm criticizing the way that I am. Like
right,
Little Giants and other movies. Like there's other child actors who,
dude, Little Giants is a fucking classic.
Yeah. Wow.
That's funny. Dude, I've seen Little Giants probably like 250 times. I've seen that movie so many times, bro.
Little Giants is fired.
Dude, Emmitt Smith, like my ultimate favorite player of all time, is in that movie.
Yeah. His name is
I forgot you.
His name was Porky.
Porky.
Yeah, his name was Porky.
Porky, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Rudy, do you remember the name of the play that they write on the kid's stomach?
Oh, the annexation of Puerto Rico.
My man. That's why we're boys.
Come on, man. I know.
That's why
we're
friends.
I know all about the little Jack. Come on, Rudy Zotac, man. Your friendly neighborhood gas man. Come on, man.
Yep.
I remember that, man. I remember all that. I can literally watch the movie and quote it line for line. The whole way.
Good.
The whole way. I've looked them up recently, like to see like what any of them did since Little Giants.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody do anything?
Well, obviously, Ed O'Neill and Rick Moranis.
Well, of course, Rick Moranis, but I mean the kids.
But as far as the kids, not that notable. I don't remember. I think the dude who played Junior Floyd might have done something on TV or something or whatever. I would have to look it up again, but for the most part.
Have you guys seen what happened to fucking Goldberg, the goalie from the Mighty Ducks?
What happened to him? He's fat?
Bro.
Oh,
you gotta see a picture of this guy.
Yeah.
He's like a zombie. He's a meth head now. He doesn't look like a human being.
Fucking child acting, man. That should be fucking him up. Man.
He was okay though, man. He was in like commercials and stuff up until like 10 years ago.
For a minute.
No, but I'm saying, like that fucking longevity, man. Like you trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like you, because you know, like Hollywood is fucked up business. You know what I'm saying? So you start looking that shit. This shit blurry. Oh.
Look at that shit, dude.
Oh wow.
And how old is he? He's like in his 40s, I think.
Maybe 40.
This is at the start of the marriage. This is 30 years in.
Yeah.
Damn.
Right.
Yeah. That's why.
But then look at Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan's been doing it for that long too. You know.
Facts.
Who is that? Who's the other person?
That's him. Like 10 years ago.
That's another transition.
Like he was acting in his when he was an adult. He was still doing projects.
Yeah, but that longevity, especially when you hit a big movie like Mighty Ducks, you know what I'm saying? Because even like,
and that's the best project you'll ever do in your whole life when you're 8.
Right, because even like your boy, what's his name, Emilio or whatever. What's the guy name who played the
Emilio Estevez? Yeah.
Right, so you know he did Breakfast Club, which was huge, but
dude, he went out on top, man.
Huh?
Emilio Estevez, like he went out on top.
He was in Drew Taylor.
But what I'm saying, but see, I think because he kind of played it smart, because like even with doing Mighty Ducks, you get to play an adult role, but you still are seen by kind of the same audience that because even though Breakfast Club wasn't like a kiddie movie, it was still dealing with teens, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was just kind of just their perspective. I mean, they were, you know, using profanity and smoking weed, but it wasn't like they were, you know, at the strip club smacking asses or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like that type of raunchy. But I think the transition is what matters. Because even like Raven Simone, I mean, she was way back even on the Cosby Show, and she has maintained some level of consistency, especially compared to maybe like the Olsen twins, you know what I'm saying, whatever like that. Even like the Tia Tamera. I mean, I think it's all about the pacing, because even like Michael B. Jordan, like he was always around, but he was never like a star as a kid. You know what I'm saying?
No.
He wasn't like the Taj Mari of smart guy.
What else did he do besides The Wire when he was a kid?
He did Hardball, I know, the movie.
Hardball, the baseball movie?
Yeah, he was in Hardball. Yeah.
Dude, that's so funny, man, because that's the that's like Black Mighty Ducks.
Hell no.
It is.
It's
the same movie, bro. Like the attorney that gets in trouble that has to do community service and like raise and do the kid. Like it's the same movie.
No, for sure. Most definitely.
Who is Michael B. Jordan in that?
He's the one who he remember he was too old, so they kicked him out of the team. He ended up joining the game.
Right. Oh, dude, that movie will rip your fucking guts out. Oh, yeah. G baby.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to get him in my movie. I'm trying to get him in my movie. The dude who played G baby, Dwayne Warren.
Mm-hmm.
Because he ain't did shit since then.
No. Well, don't let him hear that if you're trying to get him in the movie.
Well, he hasn't. But I'm saying, but that's why I'm gonna be able to reach him. I'm saying, if you haven't done something since Hardball and you played an iconic role like G Baby, like, and you haven't worked since then, I'm not saying he haven't did shit in the sense of trying to like shit on him, but that's just how I thought. He hasn't done anything since then. So you definitely want to work again, and you can be the star. Come on, man. Come on, man. He gonna take that. He's not a working actor right now. Trust me, I've looked it up. He don't even have over 10,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah. What was the name of that movie that Michael B. Jordan did, that made him kind of put him back on the map? It was like a superhero movie.
Oh, I was talking about. Oh, he did Fantastic Four.
No, it was before that. It was like a found footage. The whole movie was.
Ken?
Oh yeah, we got powers.
Oh, you're talking about The Covenant.
The what?
The Covenant.
Yeah.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about. Nah. The Covenant is something else. The Covenant was some other shit.
It was a similar type of name.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. I cannot remember the shit. He was talking about he was the apex predator.
Yes, bro. Exactly, and he's like,
that was a dope fucking movie. Oh, I love that fucking movie. What is the name of that movie?
Chronicle.
There you go. I knew it was something like that. I just didn't want to say the wrong thing. But yeah,
dude, and the bully, remember, the bully is fucking with him, and he rips out his teeth.
Bro, that movie
and he's like,
so
he's like holding the teeth in his hands, and he's like, yeah, this one I tied a little thing around, and it pulled off like that. But this one, it snapped up, dude. I was like,
Yeah, I never seen that.
I love how that movie. At the beginning, I didn't think I was gonna like how they were shooting with the whole. It's a video camera,
right.
You know, the
found
whole
footage
point of view thing. I didn't think I was gonna like that, but it actually got me more engaged, and especially when the story picked up, that shit was incredible.
That movie is one of the classic. I had literally just learned about this thing, and then that movie, I watched it that night, and it explained the thing. It's called The Allegory of the Cave, which is what a lot of movies are based on. It's Rudy, you've heard about that, right?
What's that?
The Allegory of the Cave, it's called?
No.
So basically, what about you, Aaron? Have you ever heard of that before?
Of course.
Okay, so it's a lot of stories are based on so imagine there's this whole society that they live underground, they live in a cave. And all of the only things that the people in the cave know about the world is what people show up against a flame and make shadow puppets on the wall. So the people, that's the whole society. And then one day, one person sneaks out of the cave and sees the whole world. And then would he ever be able to go back into the cave? He would never be able to I'll just forget what I say. So the Matrix is like that.
Like you already said,
and
right.
You know what I mean? A lot of movies are centered around that shit. And so is that one, Chronicle.
Chronicles of Narnia deals with a door.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I love those things.
I only seen one of those, but I seen the one, I think it was The Lion, the something in the whatever. The Chronicles of Narnia.
The Lion in the Wardrobe.
The Lion, yeah.
The Witch and the Witch, Lion in the Wardrobe.
The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe. That's
yeah. I've never watched any of those. Yeah.
That's the only one I've ever seen. That shit was fire.
If you get high and watch those, they're good.
Yeah, I meant to watch more. I just never, really just thought about it over time. But that's the one I did see. That shit is amazing.
The fucking Lion, Liam Neeson Lion.
Yeah, he's technically God, really. In the
right. What's his name again? Aragon? No, that's Lord of the Rings. Azareth.
It's been some years since I've seen
Azareth.
Yeah, some shit like that. Aaron, are you using the actual camera?
Yes.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
Right, because he has really good definition and focus and shit.
His depth of field and shit. You got anytime you come close, it's like a pull focus to your background,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I know ain't no webcam or computer camera doing that. This shit looks consistent. Whatever you do, this is it. This is it.
Consistently pixelated.
Right. This is all you get. You feel me? Aaron,
Aaron, you can use fancy camera. You can scratch that off the wall behind you.
Aaron, what have you been doing? What else you got on your agenda outside of wigs and your checklist on the wall?
I recorded my first individual podcast today. That was cool.
How long did you go?
Hour 30.
What is it about?
This one was kind of just like talking about, why I haven't done a podcast. And then I talked about the Black Lives Matter movement. And I played a snippet from like Jamie Foxx on the steps of City Hall with Dr. Amos Brown. And then I talked about this project that I'm trying to do with Florida Vote by Mail. So basically, I saw John Oliver this past week, and he did this whole segment on vote by mail and talking about how most people are going to have to vote by mail because of the coronavirus and everything that's going on. So I went on the internet and I saw that Florida Vote by Mail was not purchased. So I bought the domain, and then I didn't buy, but then I created all the social media accounts for Florida Vote by Mail. And I'm trying to launch a really cool campaign, if it ever happens, where a lot of people help contribute to spread the word that, like, you order your fucking clothes from Amazon by mail, you order your food by Uber Eats, it gets delivered to you. Why not your ballot? So I'm trying to help increase the voting from.
I mean, I've only, anytime I've ever voted from the time I've been old enough to vote, even through now, has always been an absentee ballot through the mail.
Really?
I've never went to the polls.
I've gone to the polls and I regret it now. I'm going to order everything by mail.
Yeah, I've never went.
Yeah, it's such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I always do it by mail. Always.
So that's what I'm doing right now. I got to spread the word to help people get, the awareness to vote by mail.
Oh, good job.
That's smart. That's smart. Going ahead and buying a domain name. I mean, especially.
I couldn't believe it was available. What idiots!
Well, it's probably not. I mean, that those words put together specifically is probably not a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like votebymail.com or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it's for one, I've never even heard it be called vote by mail. I just heard it called just absentee ballot. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't really like a campaign. It's just an option of voting. You know what I'm saying? But now, Corona is a thing. That's more of a campaign. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It makes more sense now.
Yeah, and I don't know why. If you're a young person, I don't know why absentee ballots should, like Rudy said, like Rudy's been doing it forever. Like if you're a young person, you don't want to go to no goddamn polling station and stand in line. Just get that shit delivered to your house. Roll one up. Do some research on who you want to vote for, or whatever, and then send it back.
Roll one up. I'm surprised we can't do that shit on our phones by now. Honestly.
I know.
So we don't promote drugs on our podcast.
As we hear your fucking shit clinging and shit, your fucking grinder clinging.
Every time you clink it, zooms in. Zoom like goes right to him. He's like,
hey, listen. If I already had my shit rolled up, I definitely would have hit it as soon as I said that.
That's why we got to start promoting. Everyone just buy Shake, and you don't ever need a grinder ever again.
Come on, man. You know me.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
I'm shaking bake.
Yeah, I hate this, man.
I'm shaking bake all day, baby.
But you get Keith. You don't get Keith if you don't grind.
That's true.
I'm gonna tell you
That
one
is
thing
true.
right now. I've smoked for years in hypothetical world, and I, never used the Keith like at the bottom. I was never like, well, scrape.
Because you know why? Because you're a bozo. That's why.
I've used it before and have felt no difference. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I've let it build up and was going in that thing with a fucking razor blade, getting that motherfucker, spread all in the blunt, and I hit that bitch. And I mean, I was still high, but I didn't feel like it wasn't a thing.
I was so broke. I rolled up. I rolled up a complete Keith blunt.
And
my sweet summer child.
This nigga almost died.
For sure, dude.
Did you almost die?
Smoked it like a regular blunt.
Did you smoke the whole thing at once?
No.
No way. Yeah, I was gonna say that's like four.
It was the first time since I had this grinder. It had to be 2 years that I had emptied it. So I did drop it once. So, but yeah. So I had enough to roll up the whole blunt. I had no weed, had no money to buy the weed. Fuck it. Scrape that shit out, roll up the blunt, And yeah, that shit hit. That shit definitely
yeah,
hit.
dude.
The shake is just convenient, bro. Like I'm getting 4 ounces of that shit for $100. Like that's.
But you prefer to roll up. Like when I was smoking flower, I would hit it out of a bong. And Keith on top of a bong bowl.
Yes,
real nice treat.
See, Aaron like that bong shit. Aaron a bong smoking ass nigga, but.
I know bongs hit though. You know that.
Fuck yeah.
But see, for me, a bong is like driving a stick shift. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta do too much to try to look good in this car. I just want to put that bitch in drive and go. You feel me? Like
listen, I always get fucked up from a bong because I always fuck up on the first hit. I always hit that shit too hard.
Right.
The first one, I always hit too fucking hard. The second one, I'm always good. But that first one, I don't know if it's because I'm not that experienced with a bong, but every time I hit it that first time, like I usually leave some in there. And I be trying to push it on to the next person, but every smoker be like, nah, nigga, finish your hit. But
I always fuck up with the first hit, but it's in the wrong way. Like I done did that shit wrong and didn't get that much smoke. I be like, wait, y'all supposed to hold my thumb in both places? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's always some action, and I be blowing, it ain't working. And it always take like a whole nother round for me to get that shit, bro.
Dude, every time I like hit someone's bong for the first time, I always get the same reaction out of them. They're like, oh shit. Like they're watching me like fill it up and I've like misgauged how much smoke I should be doing. Right. And I'm like, oh, I always like see their eyes get wide, like, uh-oh.
All right.
Lonnie, you definitely like you could shotgun a fucking beer can. Like back.
Dude, I used to do so much of that stupid white people shit.
Hey, Lonnie, you know that New Year's is the first time I ever hit a bong, right?
I believe so. Yeah, I think I remember you telling me that. Dude, I think it was the first night. It was everyone's first time hitting a bong.
For real?
Like maybe not Daryl, but like Javon and fucking James Carter and them. For sure it was their first time. Dude, I'll never forget.
I knew it was a choice because you were like, don't worry, bro. I'll show you how to do it. I was like, bro, I've never done this before. You're like, don't worry, I'll show you how to do it, bro.
Dude, I took Jay, and it was who else? Who all was it? It was me, you, Daryl, James Carter, Javon, and Skeet, or Bob.
No, Javon and Skeet wasn't there. It was
Bob then, just Bob.
First of
Javon,
all,
little brother.
First of all,
Jarvis.
How did y'all get a Javon and a Bob in the same room? That is
Bob is his nickname. His name is Jarvis, but his nickname is Bob.
And a Skeet.
Oh, I'm like, yo, these are two total opposite motherfuckers.
For sure.
Javon and a Bob.
Bob is my friend. But
right.
Bob is my
Bob
friend.
came with Lonnie, Javon came with Jay.
Like you guys are cool with Bob. If Bob comes, right? Bob's gonna hang out. So, dude, let me just tell you.
Man, he said the N-word sometimes, but he's
funny,
right. But he's cool, bro. He's cool. He doesn't mean it. It's just the way he was raised. Dude, the way this night started was we all, the 5 of us, drank a fucking gallon of Paul Masson brandy. It was like in a fucking jug like this. Like a big round, like pirates. Like,
I used to fuck with Paul.
You know?
Absolutely.
So that was the beginning of the night. That was in front of Daryl's house. Then we go to this party. And we had smoked blunts, whatever. We go to the party. We're drinking, like, it's New Year's. We're drinking champagne. We're drinking beer. We're drinking liquor. And then somebody, like, starts passing around a bong. And they had never hit a bong before. Long story short is every single person I had brought to that party was sitting at a picnic table asleep like this. Jay passed out face first under the trampoline. Hold on. Still wearing his load-bearing vest from Kmart. Dude, I gotta get that picture, man. Every time we talk about this story, I forget to get the picture. I don't know who
showed up and was just like balling.
Hold on. First of all, I was asleep at the table first, okay?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said everyone was asleep at the table. Everyone I brought was asleep.
I just wanted to make sure that they didn't think that I was the only one passed out while everybody was asleep at the table.
All four
I was sleeping at the table
of my
first.
guests were asleep at the table.
But Jay, at any point in time, were you underneath the trampoline face down?
Yes.
I don't believe that.
So
I don't even remember a trampoline being there.
Like your arm was under it. You were next to the trampoline. You know what I mean? Like
I don't even remember a trampoline, but I do know that I was very fucked up.
That makes it more clear that you definitely passed out on the trampoline. You don't even remember it being there.
I walked over. Well, my homeboy walked me over to the grass because I felt like I had to throw up.
Right.
So we walked over to the grass, and once he asked me if I was good, I just passed the fuck out. That was it. I remember.
On his
face,
this. Bro. On his on the front. It was classic. It was fucking.
I definitely remember that. This was 09.
It was either 2009 or 2010.
Oh, it was back in the day. Okay.
Oh yeah. It was a long time ago. We were kids, man. And dude, our friend Daryl, Rudy, he was like,
nigga. I didn't even have a hangover the next day.
Right, we were kids, man. I was just gonna say, like, our friend Daryl, he would like get too drunk, but not. He wouldn't change at all. Right. And all of a sudden, like, you'd be talking to him, and he'd be like this. He'd be like, 1 second. And then go right back to talking.
Right.
Before we left his house, while we were still on the bottle of brandy, the Parmesan, this dude threw up everything he drank.
Yep.
He drank the most out of all of us and threw up everything he drank. Yep. And bounced back like, hey, I need another cup.
Instantly. I've never seen anybody do that before in my life, dude. Vomit. And just like, not like be like, oh, I'm fucked up. I got it. He's just like, hang on 1 second. Let me, hold on.
Yeah, he was like, damn,
okay, what were you saying?
I just threw up everything. I'm not going to be fucked up. I need another cup.
Yeah, he's like, yo, fill me up. And I'm like, are you sure? Like, I don't think that's a good idea, bro. And he's like, stop fucking with me. I'm like, all right, Jesus Christ.
Aaron, did you just make yourself a cocktail, brother?
I did.
Y'all don't spark this fucking. I told you he drinks every night before bed. What is that? A Moscow Mule?
It's vodka, water, and lemon or lime.
This nigga drank like a
sparkling water or just like water? Tap water.
Listen, vodka water it's the best. You get hydrated and a little bit drunk at the same time.
That's right.
I've never done it.
What the hell is water?
No sugar, right?
No calories, really.
Oh, I could use the calories. I look like I've been, starving as part of this protest.
What really landed that I show up to the protest. Taking the sip.
I show up to the protest. People are like, it's not a hunger strike, right? I'm like, come on.
This man's still running bits.
That was off the top of my head. It's not a bit.
Oh, yeah. Sure sounded like one. You forced it in there as if it was just like, no, this is the other half of the joke.
a Seinfeld style bit at that.
Right.
I show up to the protest. They're like, hey, it's not a hunger strike.
What's the deal with protests?
There's no protein at the protest.
Protein at the protest? I didn't protest. I didn't know. I'm George. There was no protein? No protein at a protest?
Did
y'all see his new special?
No, not yet.
That's what you just asked, Aaron?
I thought it was good.
I'm saying that's what you was asking about the same thing?
Yeah. I thought it was good.
No, I didn't watch it.
No?
I don't think I've ever watched a Seinfeld special.
It's very generically clean, safe humor.
Yeah, I mean,
it was very Seinfeld. I'm not gonna lie, I fell asleep on it.
You fell asleep on it? Or are you saying you liked it?
I fell asleep. No, I fell asleep on it.
It's a fair question, Jay.
I know. I know. That's why I acknowledge that it was a funny question, but it was also fair. That's why I moved past it and did roast it. But yeah, I fell asleep like the middle 30 minutes. But the parts that I did watch, it was pretty much what I expected. I chuckled at some things.
Yeah, it was Seinfeld.
But I'm not a Seinfeld fan. I've always said that. I'm not a Seinfeld fan. His humor, I understand it. I understand why people find it funny, but it's not my thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've never seen any Seinfeld.
No? I love the show, Seinfeld, though. The show is fucking classic.
My mom watched it a lot. I mean, I've seen some episodes. I've never, like, dove in deep to it. You know, I think Seinfeld's definitely a comedic god. I respect, you know, whatever legacy he has. I don't think I've just contributed to his legacy much.
Did anyone watch Louis C.K.'s special?
His new one? No, I haven't. How do you watch it?
I bought it. I'll give everyone my login and password if you want to watch it.
We had the same conversation with Chris last week.
I thought
right.
I thought it was good, but I know a lot of people said they're not going to watch it because of what happened. But I thought you know.
You bought it on what? What is it on?
His website.
Website.
$8. So smart. That's the future of comedy right there.
I'm telling you, my dog doing that shit independently from his website.
I was planning on doing the same thing with mine, but I knew nobody would buy it, so I just put it on YouTube.
That's probably true.
Hey, you'd be surprised, bro. People who support, the people who was supporting me legitly when I dropped the mixtape, they were actually offering to pay, and I was like, "It's a mixtape. You ain't gotta do shit. Let me send you some. It's okay."
I think the best way to do it is to release it on your YouTube, and then you could put a donation button on the side that says, you know, if you liked it, donate $5 to my special.
Or you can put clips. You can put clips on YouTube and then have the full thing on your website.
Yeah, but see, when you put clips up, you want the clips to at least be getting like, you know, 5,000-10,000 views.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they getting like 12, 13, you might as well just post the whole thing like I did. Get them quick little 400 views and get the fuck up out of there. And that was 400 over months. That was not at one time.
Yeah, but how much money did you put into to putting a little advertising behind it?
Advertising behind it? I mean, I didn't have any marketing money because I put all the money into getting it done.
Right.
So only advertising I did was like I would make clips myself and I would just like constantly post them different places. And I might have paid like $5 or $10 or so for, you know, like boosted on whatever. I can't remember or not, but no, I didn't. Yeah, the budget for marketing wasn't.
Did anyone watch Kyle Grooms' special?
I didn't. Was it good?
I didn't see it.
Oh, I mean, I just imagine it was probably jokes I had just already heard. You know what I'm saying? I had already heard the joke about.
Yeah, it's definitely. He definitely used my room to practice a few times, so I knew all of the material.
Right.
But I know it was amazing. It was great.
Were you saying you didn't see it, but you know it was amazing? Like
you
saying like you heard about it, or you just assuming?
Both.
What? Did you hear it was amazing, or are you assuming it was amazing?
I mean, from the comments on his page, there was positive reviews. So yeah.
Oh, but you didn't get nobody told you directly, like somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we haven't seen anybody since, you know.
Oh, since it came out. Oh, I thought it came out a while ago.
And ain't nobody gonna come to me like, "Hey, you seen Kyle Grooms?"
Except Aaron.
Except Aaron, exactly.
Leave him to ask.
But yeah.
No, I haven't seen it. What's the last thing you've watched, Aaron? Just Seinfeld?
No. I watched Chris D'Elia's. You know, well, it was okay. I watched Seinfeld's. That was okay. I thought the best one I've seen since the quarantine was Louis, because it was just so controversial, and I was like, you know, for me, I like the stand-up that pushes the boundaries a lot on some things, and Louis definitely pushed some boundaries. You know, like he was.
That's the one about school shootings, right?
School shootings, and about the word retard, and, you know, a couple other, like, he talked about, you know, him jerking off in front of people, and, like, you know, did some pretty good, like, you know, analogous, you know, connecting things that made you go like, you know, okay.
That's my shit. That's my favorite part about him.
So like he did not, what I'm saying is he didn't, like, you remember when Aziz got fucked with that thing? And then Aziz came out with a special and he might as well did the whole stand-up special with a violin playing really softly next to him. It was like very apologetic, the whole thing was very like.
Was that when he had like a camera right here or something?
Aziz, yeah, like it was like the close camera on his face. He like walked into the back of the club and it was like very
Spike
like,
Jonze directed it.
And it wasn't even like the last 10 minutes of Aziz's special was like him going like, please forgive me. But that was like the last like 10 minutes. Louis was like, fuck you. This is what it is. This is why I did it. I'm out. You know? And I was like, I could respect that boldness, you know? Right. But Netflix never would have touched. No network would have touched it. If he didn't independently release it, it never would have seen the light of day. That's how vulgar, dirty, offensive, like at the same time, also not those things, you know?
Shit, Amazon Prime will pick it up because they put anything on that shit.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, anything on that.
But see, but see, it's probably even just attached to what he's done type shit as well. Not even just what he's saying, but what he's saying on top of what he's done. They probably just, you know, a lot of networks probably just don't want to be associated with it. They kind of be like, you know, Bill Cosby dropping a special or something like that. They'd just be like, you know, and his shit would be clean. You know, Bill Cosby don't even do dirty comedy, but they'd just like, nah. We don't give a fuck about that clean set.
But I think Louis was the best one I've seen since quarantine.
Did either of you, I know Rudy you haven't, but did either of you see Tom Segura's Ball Hog?
No.
Good?
But I'm a fan, so I might be biased, but I like his type of humor and his delivery, his dry delivery and shit like that.
What were the topics?
With him, it's always the same. He usually just talks about his personal experience and shit. It's not too much worldly shit except for the stupid people he's encountered and shit. So, but then again, I'm gonna have to get back to you on exactly, you know, the key points and shit because it came out like 2 months ago and that's when I watched it.
Right.
But
Jay, like, I didn't take notes on that shit, Aaron. God damn, Aaron treating it like a homework.
No, I mean, if I had watched it yesterday or today, and he asked me, I would have been able to tell him. But yeah, like it's not fresh in my mind, but I do remember enjoying it.
The last one I watched that was funny, and I don't even think it was during quarantine. Was Deion Cole's. That was like the last special I watched.
When he wore the leather pants.
And that wasn't during quarantine, but Deion Cole was definitely.
He might have had leather pants on, yeah, but it was just whatever the latest one was. But that shit was funny as fuck.
Deion Cole's funny.
No, he only got the one. Cold-hearted.
Yeah, whatever that one was. That
when I watch stand-up specials, like I'll have like a notepad with me, and I'll kind of like write down like kind of the topics that they talk about, so I can kind of get an idea of like the format of the show.
You watch Seinfeld and you bought a bunch of wigs. It's like Seinfeld brought out something in me that I never even knew was there. I got wigs, fucking characters, fucking Joe Bob Shapiro in the fucking building, huh? Jesus Christ.
I just watched another one. Fuck, I can't find it right now because it done disappeared off my account since I watched it. It was a British lady who just dropped one on Netflix.
Black or white or?
Huh?
She's black, British, white?
No, she white. She white. I know the black one you talking about. She's funny. I like her.
Pretty and blonde?
No. It's the lesbian lady. I can't remember her name. The name of the special was Douglas. She just dropped one. I think
that's not. She's Australian. Yeah, I'm trying to think of her name, bro.
Yeah. That's right. Australian.
Lauren loves her, bro.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. But I think I just seen Kevin Hart and somebody big her up recently or some shit.
Yeah, she's dope. She's really good.
Yeah, she was dope.
Her last special was her like quitting comedy.
Yeah, type shit. But like, yeah, that shit was like. It was more. It was funny, but it was more like I would say it was kind of like more of a monologue.
Right. Yeah, that's her style.
Of course it was funny, but she had like really, really serious dark moments in
Yeah.
there.
Doesn't she
But it
talk
was
about
like
like getting beat
personal-
up and shit like that?
Yeah. It was personal shit. It was personal shit, but it was like real dope. It was like a nice little roller coaster of like, damn, that's
Anna
fucked
Gatsby?
up, and then
Yes,
that's funny.
Anna
Say again?
Gatsby, that's her.
that's it.
Yeah. There we go.
I heard. So I told someone that one time when I was in New York talking to someone, and they were like, they were like, that wasn't comedy, that was a TED Talk, and I was
Right.
like,
Right. Yeah, and that's something that she addressed in this one, in the new one. And she like said that like off rip for the people who said that's not a comedy, that's a lecture, that's a TED Talk and all that shit. Yeah, she goes through all
she
that
did
shit.
another one after that one.
Yeah.
I like her. She has some good, intelligent points. Yeah, it was a good roller coaster.
Yeah, she's a fucking gangster. I haven't watched her specials, but her like I've heard her interviews and stuff. She's a fucking gangster.
I watched Sam Morril's also on YouTube. I remember that. Sam Morril was it was decent, not bad.
Sam Morril is like old school, right?
He's like a young guy, like curly hair, kind of tall. He had that beef with Off the Hook Comedy Club.
Oh, Sam Morril is the guy in Joker.
Yes, he was in the Joker.
Yeah.
I know Mark Norman has a new special, but I can't watch his stand-ups too much.
Why?
I don't know. It's always like, when they say,
Yeah. Ari? Yeah.
Is that Sam Morril?
I think so. He's the comic in Joker. That's all I
I
know.
don't think that's Sam Morril. That looks like an IT
Wait,
special.
hold on, let me see it again, because I don't know who you're talking about.
I don't think that's him.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
What was his beef with Off the Hook?
He was at Off the Hook and he was telling some jokes, and then I guess Off the Hook has like a lot of old people from Naples that go there, and some old woman was like telling him something that like they didn't like his humor or whatever, and he like started like retorting back with her like back and forth, and then he got a complaint, and then the owner was trying to like tailor his comedy, and he was like, well then fuck you, I'm not going to do the next show, and just like flew out of the city.
Right. He talks about that on Joey Diaz's podcast.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Me and my dog Rudy killed Off the Hook.
What?
I said me and my dog Rudy killed Off the Hook. That shit crazy.
Definitely older white people in there.
Definitely older white people.
Facts.
Off the Hook, that's where you shot your special, right, Rudy?
No.
That was Time Splitters. Right?
That was Side Splitters.
It's Side Splitters then, Aaron, is the one that he has the beef with.
Really?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Side Splitters in Tampa. Off the Hook is in Naples. And
Pretty sure it's. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like I remember when he was telling a story. I remember thinking of Rudy shooting a special. Because they say it's a really dope club, but that the owner is not.
Either way, they're trying to open up again.
Bro, that's the place that the owner drinks like $60,000 in liquor a year or something like that from the bar.
What the hell?
Yeah, bro. That's what I heard.
Horrible business planning.
Yeah.
All these comedy clubs are opening up again, man. And I was talking to Rudy about this. Comics better start bringing their own mics to shows.
I was thinking about getting like a pack of non-lubricated condoms and just putting it over.
That's the only time Lonnie will use a condom.
That's right. My nickname in college was Raw Dog.
Did I tell you that? Can I tell the story about when I went to the Improv that first time it opened up on Friday?
Of course.
So I go to the Improv, right? And I go there to record. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm gonna grab the camera. I'm gonna do like a.
I'm just kidding. Keep going. I'm just getting some water. Go ahead.
I'm gonna do some kind of report like you would see on like the Daily Show, or they're making jokes about like a fake news report or whatever. I go to the comedy club. It's Friday. It's the first time they opened or whatever. They're supposed to be at like 25% capacity. Copper Blues is packed. No one gives a fuck, right? No one's wearing masks. The servers are wearing masks, but people who are there at the restaurant not wearing masks, as if Corona never happened. And I go inside the comedy club and I'm watching, the comics or whatever. And, it was Will, what's his name? Will
Lopez.
Will Lopez is up there doing his thing, and he did okay.
He was in the like suit. He was in like the quarantine suit, right?
No, not this one. He was just in regular clothes. And then Gene Harding went up. And then the point that made me, you know, kind of nervous was Gene was up there and he was like, he started to like riff a little bit. And he was like, all right, son, for real though. Like, I'm up here and I'm like, you know, talking in the microphone and I'm watching just like my spit just like flying out of my mouth, just like all over this lady in the front. And she's like ducking and dodging and like she put on a mask and her man's put on a mask, you know. And then that was it. He stopped and everyone just got like quiet. And I was like, yeah, you know, it's dangerous. You know, you can't be doing this shit. You can't be like, you know, addressing that out loud, spitting all over the audience, you know. And then the worst part was every time the comics wanted the crowd to like cheer and like, you know, fucking, you know, get going, they were like, you know, give it up for yourselves. You guys aren't pussies who are afraid of this pandemic. And I'm like, and the whole crowd would just cheer. And I was like, I need to get out of here. These people are the ones who get me sick.
For sure.
When did you start doing Gene Harding impressions? This man literally transformed his whole voice. He was like, man, put his mask on, like.
It's fucked up because it wasn't bad at all. Like that's
no, it wasn't.
A funny story is when I was at FAU and before I was doing stand-up comedy, I was just like the host of the university or whatever. I opened up, not doing stand-up, but just kind of like introducing and talking to the audience. They wanted me to make some announcements. The performers were Gene Harding and Hannibal Buress. That was like the first time I met Gene, which was like a weird coincidence.
Oh, wow.
And then I tried to take a picture with Hannibal Buress and Gene after the show. And I was like, Hannibal, can you take a picture of me so I can get a lot of likes on Instagram? He was like, fuck you. I ain't gonna take a picture then. I was like, I'm just kidding. Jesus Christ.
Never seen him again.
And then after I took the picture, I was like, just kidding. That's exactly why I did it. And I ran away.
Jesus.
That's not true.
It doesn't sound true. We didn't believe it.
Oh, wow.
we didn't believe it at all.
And then we ruined Cosby's career together.
Right.
Before that.
All right.
Together. Hey, so is the improv, the Miami Improv, they rocking every weekend right now?
They're rocking every weekend. They're back again this weekend with Cisco and Carlos Mencia.
Have they started bringing in any like touring like headliners, or has it just been local guys?
Carlos
lives in Fort Lauderdale now, doesn't he?
No, LA.
Really?
Yeah. Carlos is actually a really nice guy. Cisco actually let me open up for him and Carlos at the Hard Rock after that first weekend I did it with Harlan Williams. Carlos is actually a really nice guy, super smart, super business savvy. But he says he's on the road 50 out of the 52 weeks a year. That's a grind.
Yeah.
That's a grind. Only 2 weekends off the whole year.
I mean,
and he goes and he does like 3-hour shows.
I'm saying, but he's not doing anything else but stand up. You know what I'm saying? He's not.
He's also only working 3 days a week.
Right.
He's not balancing like a heavy schedule outside of you just go to the next place. Because I mean, he's still kind of on at least what I think would be, I guess, a redemption tour, if you will. So it's not. I don't think he could be much busier besides the fact that people still want to see him do stand-up type shit. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he probably has to work that much.
Aaron, does he fly or does he drive?
What do you mean?
Like when he tours, is he like on a bus or is he flying?
He flies. Here's the smartest thing about that motherfucker, right? He brings his own equipment to the show. He sets up his own microphones in the crowd, and then he has the stage microphone going to his audio unit. He has this machine in the back that as he's recording the show, it's uploading the audio of the crowd laughing and him on the mic onto USB flash drives. And it holds 50 USB flash drives, and he has 2 of them. So it's uploading 100. And so he has them all plugged in. At the end of the show, it only takes him a second to finish all the uploads. He takes out the USB sticks and sells them back to the audience for $25 a USB flash drive, selling them the same show they just saw.
But only audio, or is the video as well?
Only audio.
And they buying them motherfuckers too.
Buying them. He's getting them for a ticket and then a USB flash drive of the show they just heard. Plus t-shirts. It's a t-shirt. It's a t-shirt, a DVD, and a flash drive, $60, and you get all three. And a line.
Well, yeah, that's cheap though. Most places you can get $60 just for the shirt. So and he told me he makes a year. He says he can make between $250,000 to $500,000 a year from just selling those extra things after the show.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he's making, if he's doing USBs, if he sells out every one, that's $2,500 a show. I mean, let's say if he just does that twice, that,
2 shows a night, right? Except for Sunday.
Yeah. 100 times. That's not that hard.
I know. That's
especially
smart.
if he's working 50 weeks a year.
That's smart.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how did you guys like that Jewish math for you right there? That was pretty good.
You did 25 times 100.
I think it's smart, and I think in the future, I think that's something that every comic can pick up. Like that equipment, would cost you maybe $800 to $500 to start, and then literally you could do it at every show you go to. You could literally, stand. You could record yourself, and then at the end of the show, even if you're a feature, you could sell your jump drive to somebody.
Yeah.
Not a bad.
I mean, I guess it depends on the crack. See, like even him, he probably also has like an older audience, and like older audiences, they like to listen to shit as opposed to watching it. Like they'll listen to a podcast as opposed to watching it on YouTube or listen to a set. Like, and I'm saying that like I think if I did that right now, like with the type of audience I would draw, I don't know if nobody would want to just buy my audio of it. You know what I'm saying? Like they would probably like there was a way to flip it and put the footage of it on the drive and then put it out.
That'd be really cool if you could have the audio and the video.
I think that would be probably more. I don't know if it's possible, but I think that would be more feasible for whatever. But I think for his crowd, I think it works well because, like I said, older people, and I'm not saying like in their 70s. I'm just saying like even 40s or whatever. Like they're more prone to listen to stuff like while they work out or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to sitting down, designating time to actually be sitting here like this, and watch shit. So it works. I mean, he's catering to the audience. So I mean, it's smart,
and to be honest, all of you can have your own T-shirts, to sell. Like you could have there's like services called like Teespring, like teespring.com, and merchandise by Amazon, where you can make your own T-shirt design. And you could sell it, and you never have to have the inventory. Like they purchase it from Teespring, and then you get a certain percentage from the, whatever you sell. So like Teespring will be like, yo, we'll take $11 from the shirt. If you sell it for $22, you get $11 profit, and you never have to touch the T-shirt. You never have to like ship it to anybody. They do all of that. So
man, buy some motherfuckers who want to buy shirts first, shit.
Nice.
I gotta start writing jokes before I worry about T-shirts.
I wrote a funny ass joke today.
You wrote a joke? You don't write jokes, you said.
I didn't write it out. I'm saying like I thought about it and I wrote down the plot point.
Is this for you're gonna wait for Saturday? You're gonna say it right now?
No, I'm waiting for Saturday. I'm just acknowledging it. I don't run bits by people just off the cuff like you, Aaron. Aaron has thrown 45 minutes of bits in this whole time. We didn't even notice it. Everything he just said was a bit.
Right. He's got like that notepad next to him has checks and X's, like worked. No.
Right.
That's what's on his wall.
No.
Those are bits on his wall this whole time.
Right.
I'm gonna turn around for done.
Like a T-shirt bit. Didn't work.
Canva bit.
No, but seriously, you
Joe Bob Shapiro.
That's fun. That one was funny. But you should all look up Teespring, because the moment that you publish something on Teespring, you get a thing called common right trademark, which means that like if you post a shirt that says like Rudy Wilson, no one else can publish that shirt without breaking copyright infringements. But even if no one buys it, the moment you have it up there, you own that trademark on that shirt.
Oh.
All right, fellas. I think I'm gonna hit it. Gotta eat dinner. It's already 11:30.
You trying to eat dinner now? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, bro. I didn't eat. I was waiting. I didn't realize we would go so long.
Well, I was trying to go long because I be trying to gauge it from the time we actually start. I know me and you was like kind of first, but then like everybody jumped on the Chris left and Aaron came. So I try to give enough time when everybody's in full conversation and not screens flickering on and off. And
For sure.
Who's gonna be on the show Saturday?
At this point, probably just me and you.
Hey, Jay, you want to do our own podcast that we feel included in? And
well, I
everybody
actually
else?
invited you guys to this before I even invited Aaron. But none of you guys motherfuckers wanted to do it.
I didn't hear.
I talked about writing jokes and us running the bits off each other. Nobody wanted.
Right.
I said it a billion times. Nobody ever wanted.
You did, and I was afraid and scared of it. And yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fact. In my defense, I didn't know anything about this Saturday podcast until this conversation. And,
well, no. I'm saying as far as it being Saturday and it being a separate thing, is because when I tried to do it with y'all, none of y'all wanted to do it. So I just made it a total separate thing.
Right.
And that's why. But the whole Saturday date, this is the first time us doing it. We haven't been doing it. This will be the first time.
Rudy, when are we going to do the movie one?
Episode. Rudy's live.
Huh?
We're on season 3 right now. We're on season 2 and 3.
We got picked up by Comedy Central. What'd you say, Lonnie?
I was gonna say, when are you doing the film podcast, Film Students?
It's still Saturday.
Oh, okay. You're just gonna do both?
Yeah, it's still Saturday.
All right.
Rudy's becoming like the Zoom like podcast pimp.
Seriously.
Well, none of y'all live here. I don't live there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we got to do it some type of way. And I'm not trying to be hanging out at open mics for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I do know what you're saying.
I got to get exposure in some form or fashion. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm going to just keep putting out content until, real recognize real.
That's right.
I love it.
So,
can we get a hump day dance even though it's not hump day?
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, Aaron, we appreciate you joining us. We don't really do like official intros and outros a lot of times, but we can definitely go ahead and plug yourself in and whatever you got coming up, you want to throw on your Instagram real quick.
Aaron the speaker on everything. Everything from email to social media to YouTube channel and everything. And I'm gonna have my first podcast out coming up this week, probably today or tomorrow. And then Florida vote by mail. If you have any ideas on how to, actually, contribute something to make something funny, to make people interested, and to actually, give back. Like, I know if you're angry right now with everything that's going on, if you're pissed off, if you're fucking want to make a difference, this is one way that you can make a difference and not be someone on the sidelines, but actually get on the field and fucking make a tackle. This is your chance to, at least getting people to go out and vote.
Make a tackle. Gotcha. All right. Well, that's cool. And then, of course, we got Jay Does Comedy. Yours is what, just Cox Comedy, Lonnie?
Yes, sir.
It's Cox Comedy and at Willy Nilly if you're nasty. We are the Groceries, man.
We are the Groceries.
Some weeks we shop with food stamp cards. Some weeks we got full money to bring everybody. But either way, me and my blue bucket hat gonna be ducked off with some version of somebody. I never know who's showing up this week at this point.
We're the Groceries that was left after the hurricane.
Right, we're what's left. So stack up on us. You know what I'm saying? Because we're running out.
Fuck with
all right, man. We out this bitch.
I love you guys. I can't wait to
love you guys.
I can't wait to see you guys.